Good morning, guys. I have my big cup of coffee. Make sure my husband doesn't come out. Okay, so it was so funny. Anyone that is in my DMs and we talk, hey girl, okay, knows that when I leave messages, they're probably, because you get timed out at a minute, oh my gosh, I think I have like chipmunks, sorry. I leave long messages, so I'm always like, okay, it's story time with Kendra now. So I kind of feel like this is story time with Kendra every day. I really wanted to hop on and talk, oh, it was a chipmunk, see, squirrel. I wanted to talk, what has really influenced my life a lot is what makes you, you. Hey, Leslie. Gosh, I'm getting used to all this like wave stuff. Okay, so what makes you, you? This is day 3. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. Oh my gosh, I think I need like a person just to sit here, get Andrina here. Okay, so I have tattoos. I love luxury cars. I love leopard print. I love pink fluffy pillows. I say the F word. I say fuck when I get excited. Hey, Steph. I love blingy watches. Well, this is the only one I have, but I love it. And I get Botox, and I don't feel ashamed of it, which I'm like totally missing my girl right now. But I used to conform to what everybody else thought I should be. But I'm not for everyone, and that took me a really, like, extremely long time to be okay with just being me. And first of all, Botox, everyone does it, but nobody talks about it. So I will be the first one to go first. I first got it because I was hoping it was going to help headaches, and my girl did it a little bit, and I think it helped, and plus it kind of lifted everything, and I love it. So there you go. I said it. Okay. See you. Love you. It's golf day today. I used to be the yes girl. And I don't know if you guys can relate to me, but I was when I was in like my corporate job, I was in it for 12 years. My first part, I was the yes girl. I was quiet. I put my head down. I did my job, and then I helped everyone else's. And I remember I would come up with ideas, and oh yeah. So nothing was ever. You never got that feedback that was like, that's a great idea, where I'm in HR now, and I love being part of this team because they see me and they're like, oh, like when we're on group calls right now and I voice my opinion or whatever, and when I have someone high up or I have someone on my team who's like, Kendra, that's a great idea, or that's a great comment. It's like, you get that recognition, right? You're like, yes, like I spoke my mind up, and then you want to do it more and more and more, just like these lives. Pardon me. But I used to be that yes girl, and I used to, like, I don't want to stir the pot, I don't want to say anything, but now I'm kind of addicted to it. I love being able to speak my opinion because I know when I don't, I feel it in my body. And I'm going to give you some very honest and real life experiences that have taken me a really long time to be okay with sharing it on social media, with sharing it, because I've gone through a lot of energy work to forgive it. And, I wasn't the person I was back then, right? So talking about my work, so I used to dress like collared shirt, black pants, go to work, and I felt so uncomfortable. And we had this leader that I took a course with. She was actually teaching a course, and she's like, if you've noticed, I've changed the way I dress. Hey, Olivia, coming to see you soon. I'm so excited. There's so much stuff going on. But I used to dress a certain way because that was what corporate was, right? And I felt so uncomfortable. So I took this girl's course, and she goes, if you have noticed, I've changed the way I dress. She goes, I'm dressing for me. And I did notice, because she wasn't in the blazer, she wasn't in this, she was in like, she looked like she walked out of like a Winners commercial. Like, she looked fabulous. And I had kind of already started changing the way that I was dressing. I wasn't wearing the collared shirts. I was dressing more for me. And then my work took a dress for your day, which I think some people take it to the extreme, but like, people are comfortable and people feel who they are. And we have this one leader at work. She is like, I want to get to know her. I'm gonna like creep her at work. But she's a leader, and she has this pink, beautiful, like, she has different hair like all the time, but it's like in a mohawk, and she's like off to this, like, she looks like the chick that you just want to sit and have a drink with and be like, okay, tell me about yourself. Like, she just looks so fun, and I'm just like, finally. Like, that's what my corporate job, that's what they need. Like, they need fun. So it's really great to see that like people are really stepping into their own. Another example, and this is something that I taught my daughter. So if you have daughters with curly hair, listen up. Audrina, my youngest, curly hair, like bing, like ringlets. She hated it. Hated her hair. She hated it because she wasn't like everybody else. Okay, so I did this exercise. I didn't know I was doing it, but now I know. It's like freaking awesome mindset work. But I told her to pay attention to how many people comment or like want to touch your hair. As a mom, you know, you're like, yeah, but I'm like, hey, if it's gonna help her, it's gonna help her. We would go out and it would be a game. How many people would comment on her hair and how many people would like it, comment. Her confidence, and I'm like, look at you, are different than everybody else. Right now we're going through, because I think she falls, like, I think when they're 7 or 8, they kind of go into that, like, I want to be like everybody else. And Audrina's not like everyone else. Anyone that knows my youngest, she is my firecracker. She's the one that kind of got me started on the whole essential oil train, because of her skin. But that's for another day. But I told her to change her mindset. And after just a few times, she did. And it was amazing. She's like, people love my hair. Like, little kids at school would be like putting their finger up her curls. And I really think that we all need to do that. Like, what makes you you? I have curly hair. I straighten it and then I curl it. But sometimes, like, it's a pool. Like, we jumped in the pool last night. And I'm like, okay, the old me would be like, okay, do your hair. Get ready for this live video. And I'm like, no, like, this is me. I get like the fuzzies, the grays are in there, whatever. But another example, so this is when you know that you're not living in alignment with yourself, and this took me a really long time, was when I met my husband. I'm very insecure. I didn't look insecure when I look back at pictures, but very insecure. I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to have someone. But I followed him around like a little puppy dog. I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna stay at his house, we're gonna do this. And just, I always wanted to be with him, which is not a bad thing. But like, as we've grown up with each other, we met when we were 21, I think. Very young, very, really young. Like, he loves golf and he goes golfing now that the golf courses are open. But that's what he loves. He loves it. So for me, he loves what he goes out and does what he does, and oh my gosh, you can see my mismatch outfit. So funny. He does what he does, and then I do what I do. So that was our thing with the network marketing, because that's another thing that I'm going to get into down the road. So the big thing that I look back, and it was, I didn't have the wedding I wanted, and I've held on to that anger for so long. And now I'm going to say this because I'm going to renew my vows, I don't know when, but I wanted a beach wedding. I wanted small, super small. I wanted intimate. I wanted, I pictured, like, I just wanted the beach. I wanted the sand. Whoever can come. But that got kiboshed, right? And that, like, destroyed me inside. I remember having our stag and doe they tied a balloon. I don't know whose freaking idea this was. They tied a balloon to our strap, like our jean strap, because being married to an Italian, they're kind of everyone and their mother shows up, right? Which it was a lot for me coming from a small family and just becoming like, that's not who I am. And I've grown into those events, which have made me feel very uncomfortable. But I love my husband, and I just did it. But my wedding, it was not what I wanted, and my body was showing it to me. Stag and dough, I was in the bathroom. I was puking, and same with my wedding. Luckily, I think this is the universe. Not luckily, this sounds terrible. But my husband broke his arm like 4 days before our wedding. 4 days, like down his arm. I still remember walking into the hospital, and his arm was dangling. And I'm like, I didn't know then, but I'm like, this is the universe's way of saying, you guys aren't listening to me, and like our intuitions, like our souls. So this is gonna happen, and I forget what the left arm means. I gotta look it up, but there's something with the left, your body, there's so many connections, right? I'll post about it. But I was so sick, and I had a dear friend at the time who was actually dated Anthony before, and we've become really good friends. But she was in the bathroom helping me, and I'm just like, I can't. It doesn't feel, when it doesn't feel right, guys, listen to your body, your intuition. Like, oh God, if I could go back, I would have voiced my opinion, but that wasn't me back then. I was the yes person. Okay, yep, we'll do this big wedding. Yep, we'll do that. Yeah, you want? Yep. The only thing I wanted at my wedding was those ceiling things, and even that was a battle. But it's taught me that I need to listen to my body. I was so sick. Hey, Claire, keep talking. But it has taught me, and I feel like we go through lessons our whole life, that if you don't learn from something, it's going to show up again, and it's going to show up again, and it's going to show up again. So pay attention to the lessons that are coming into your life. But yeah, just be you. Like, find what makes you like quirky and like different, because people are drawn to that. Like, to me, I got the best DM last night from a girl that I'm in the course with, and she's like, I think you're sometimes a comedian. And I'm like, oh my God. And I feel like Audrina. I'm like, I want to make people laugh, and I see you, and I see people for who they are. And I think that's a huge gift, especially nowadays. And I'm just like, everyone is so different, and everyone, like, we try to conform to everyone else. So like my network marketing, right? I'm in the natural product world, and I saw these higher leaders, and then I'm like, like, if I want to be successful, I have to be like them. I have to look like them, or I have to act like them. And then I saw, what's her name? She was like the Essential Mermaid, tattooed out, colorful hair, and I'm like, I gotta be me. She kind of gave me permission to be like, but then I didn't listen. But now it's kind of stepped into my own, because I'm like, sometimes, like, I love to eat chocolate, or I love to have a glass of wine and or a beer by the pool with my kids, or a pina colada, like, and I love Botox, right? It doesn't fit into that bubble, but I'm like, that's okay. If everything else of my life, like, obviously with Audrina's skin, I have to use natural products, but I'm like, this is who it is. Like, this is who I am, and I'm gonna attract my own tribe. And guys, trust me. So I used to think, like, if I really showed my true self, I wouldn't attract my tribe, right? I was like, no, like, I have to be this way. You don't. Just be you. Like, be quirky. Drop the F-bomb here and there. People relate, especially moms nowadays. Trust me. The girl that I went to the grocery store, and I'm like, she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, this is taking forever. And I'm like, I'm a mom. I'm at home with my kids while working full time. I don't mind. This is a little bit of my quiet time, you know? And I'm like, give me a lottery ticket. Just, you never know, right? But yeah, be you. Like, oh my gosh. And I love, I started going live more. And then I've seen so many of my friends start going live and sharing their stories, or just like sharing them. Like, that's what people want to see. That's what we want to see, right? I love watching people's stories. So my lesson for today I made a sheet because I had so many downloads today. I'm like, I can't forget to say all these things. But be you, please. Like, it's amazing. And if you're tired, put a filter on because it makes us all look amazing. But yeah, be you. That's my lesson for today. Because what makes you different is what people absolutely love about you. Like, okay, sorry, gotta bring up a couple other things. My voice. So growing up, I thought I had a deep voice like a guy. So in public school, I think this is probably why I don't speak up. I never did. Is because my voice was different. It was like a little raspier. It was like, to me, it was deeper. Like when I go and watch videos of myself, I'm not, but in my head. And then I have a bigger nose. And I'm like, I would always see these girls in school have like the little ski bump nose. And I'm like, oh. So I would always like sit and like hide myself. And then now I see something's happening in my girls' lives. You know, their bodies are changing. And I'm like, no, don't, because it'll fuck you up for your fucking adulthood, and I'm not letting that happen. So I think it's really important that we become aware of what we're talking about, like to ourselves, and what we think about ourselves, because we got little people watching us, and yeah, we need to rise. Like, we need to help these little humans so much, and there are lessons. So pay attention, and be you. Because there's no one else on this earth like you, and you're here for a reason. You have something to teach people. So thank you for story time with Kendra, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.